What's up, everybody? My name is Parker Ament.
My name's Danny Ferrari.
And we are Excellent Sound. We have the very first production segment of 2026.
That's right, bro.
With OddKidOut.
I'm the first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the first.
Woo.
And we've also never had anybody finger drum, bring any controllers, anything like that. So, like, this is super, super exciting.
Sick.
Yeah. It's the first
Yeah.
time we're allowing fingering on our show.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
exactly.
exciting.
It's a new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New
New year,
beer.
new finger. So we're going to be doing a bunch of things in this video. So OddKidOut, Butch, you're going to be breaking down some Maschine stuff with us. We're also going to be doing some PS5 controller video game stuff.
Next level type of shit.
Next
going on
level
here.
stuff. And then we're just going to be talking about some production. So
Dude.
Sounds great.
yeah, let's jump right in.
Sure.
Dude, first off, Orange Maschine. I've
Yeah.
never seen this before in my life.
Special dish or what?
Yeah,
It
is it a
is.
special dish?
It's called the Flame Orange Family and Friends. I don't remember if it's 100 or 250 worldwide. I had number 65
Wow.
and I broke it. So I reached out to NI and they sent me a replacement, another orange one. And this one is, I don't want to move it, but it's unmarked. So there's no number. So technically it's rarer.
Yep.
Wow.
Because it's not numbered.
That's right.
That's some sick lore.
So it's kind of a one
I
of
love
one.
that.
Well, it's not even a one. It's a 0 of 0. It's not even numbered.
It doesn't even exist.
It's not
Can't see
even
it from-
there.
They should have went with the Cheeto. Cheeto is like it's so
Cheeto
much more
orange?
Cheeto orange?
What'd they call it? What did they say it was called?
Flame.
Flame.
Which is way cooler than Dorito.
It is.
Yeah, you can't. That's probably copyrighted.
Cheeto's dope though.
So first question, right off the bat, something that made me not want to use the Maschine was I didn't think that you could put in custom samples. And that was super important for me personally. Like, that's why I went the push direction. But you told me that it's super easy to add custom samples now.
Oh, it's super easy. Yeah, it's literally just open up the software, the Maschine software. You can open it in Ableton as like a separate plugin.
Cool.
And what I do is I just drag WAV files, one shots into each bank, and it just automatically loads it.
That's
And you just
awesome.
Save it. It's super easy
And are you running it as a standalone normally, or are you running it in Ableton when you're doing your live performances?
in Ableton.
In Ableton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So and
'cause-
you're running it as a plugin.
I'm running it as a plugin,
Yeah.
right? So I'm basically triggering different parts of songs and finger drumming with different drums and melodies throughout my whole set.
Gotcha.
And my set's built in Ableton, so it's just easier to have it all in one spot.
Damn, that must have taken you a while. Because is there also like routing, independent routing? So like, if you are building out a kit, you're opening up, I'm assuming, a MIDI track, right? Which then opens up the Maschine, and then is there routing for each individual, like kick, snare, hi-hat, each pad to where you can adjust the volume independently, or is it all? Are you using this as like kind of your final mixer?
It's all in this,
And
but
then that's the bus essentially of it would be what's in Ableton.
correct.
Got it. Okay.
But my sets look like a really bad stock graph. Like you start here and it just goes all the way down.
Yeah.
Because I play maybe one song every minute. Like it's probably 60 or 65, 70 tracks in a 60-minute set. So
Wow.
it's a shit ton of those, and then you have to figure out what to mute on each one, produce it out, get this to sync up, and then you have to rehearse it. So you have to know
Right.
which banks go for which one, and building a set takes a really long
I
time.
would imagine. Just
Yeah.
like, and then are you performing, like, so let's say, I'm assuming it's mostly your stuff, but is there anybody else's tracks that you play and you're kind of playing over it, like
Mhm.
jamming to it, or are you
Yeah.
like removing their drums and doing a live performance over it? Like, how does that work? I guess I've always wondered how that would work.
Combo both.
Okay.
So when I play my own records, I have complete autonomy over how I want to break it out. But if I take someone else's record that maybe I'm not friends with and I can't get the stems, I'll AI separate it sometimes. Sometimes like this specific kit I have, it cuts through, and I'll put a really small side chain.
Okay.
Everything is side chain to what comes out of this. A small amount. So every
That's very
track
smart.
dips, and most of the time I sidechain it just to the kick, but there's certain moments where I need everyone to hear what's happening, and then I'll do a separate sidechain that is just the entire sum of what's being finger drummed.
Mhm.
It's really short and small, but it helps it cut through.
So have you tried Compactor yet?
No.
It's a ring mod sidechain that Sound Toys? Not Sound Toys.
Kilohertz.
Kilohertz came out with.
Okay.
And the way that it works is it uses a ring modulation pulse to sidechain. Now, people have been like really crazy about it. I'm not going to get into specifics because I'm not Virtual Riot and I'll look like an idiot right now. But it's essentially like deleting the audio, essentially. So you're actually getting really, really hard sidechain. When I've tried to use it on just a kick, I haven't personally found that I liked it. But I would recommend checking it out for specifically to have everything when you're sidechaining the entire kit. It sounds really, really good, and so it's really weird. I can send you it, but I was just curious if what type of sidechain are you using for when you're doing this? Because I would imagine you want to be very particular about a specific type of sidechain when it comes to this, or no?
Glue compressor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, stock, baby.
Cytomic Ableton glue or the
the
nice.
Stock glue compressor.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, sounds good, bro.
So you're a big proponent of stock Ableton, right?
Huge.
Do you use that more so than third-party stuff?
Yeah, I would say most of the time it's stock Ableton, and then Serum is a very used plugin. NI's libraries, contacts, addictive drums for live drum sounds.
Wow, addictive, really?
Yeah, I love addictive.
Wow.
Kilohertz, I use a lot. Autotune, and minimal audio and baby audio products.
Nice.
Yeah, but most of the time the job gets done with the stock.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably quicker too, right? You're just boom right there.
Yeah. And, Endless Smile
Ooh.
is like one of my favorite plugins ever. I use that on everything.
Nobody talks about Endless Smile anymore, but dude, we love it.
I love Endless Smile, man.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So in your writing sessions, or I guess for just a normal producer, a normie producer, there's you're writing music, you're sound designing, but now there's like a third element, which is you're building kits. So are those separate from all of the other things that you do? Is that like I'm going to sit down today and I'm going to build a kit?
So one thing I've been hyper fixating on recently is the funnel of creativity and effort. So if I'm making a sample pack, I hope that those sounds are then used when I produce music. I hope it's used for my kits. It should all work in a line so that the work that you put in can get used in multiple places. But a lot of the times you make a sound pack and it's just not going to work for the track you want to make. So I would say most of the time when I'm building a set, I build the kits and the set at the same time.
Oh.
If I'm working, like I'll put a track in and I'm like, okay, this is what I want. Let's build this part. And I just build it section out, section out, section out. If I can get 15 minutes done of a set in a day, I'm like, that was really productive.
Yeah, that takes up so much time.
So much time.
Yeah, even just doing 2 tracks and building out a set takes a long time.
It takes a long time, yeah. So it's double the work because you're not only like setting up a DJ set, but you're also then performing it and breaking it up. And I guess for content, when I'm like doing my normal finger drum stuff, yeah, it's all situational. It's just like, okay, this is what I want to make today. Hopefully I have some sounds that work already. I'll pop them in. And if not, I'll build a couple extra and good to go.
That's sick,
and
man.
when doing it this way, I wonder how much room there is for improvisation.
It's a great question.
Thank you. I always feel great when people compliment my questions. I feel
Dude,
so
for
smart.
real.
Like, yeah, like, because I understand you can improvise the drum beat a little bit, but like improvising the actual length of the song because you have control over the stems, right? So how does that work? Like,
so my set is not as malleable as you think because the more times you hit pause on Ableton in a live setting equals more time to fuck up. So as long as I can get stems to play without having to trigger them in the background, the easier it is for me to flow between tracks. And then you take a pause and then you have a batch. The thing about improvisation with finger drumming is every time I perform anything, nothing is ever the same. And a big problem that I have when I work with companies like Red Bull or other, not to name names, but anybody I work with, they're like, well, we'll take 4 different shots of 4 different angles and then we'll sync it up. And I'm like, well, no, because the third time I did it, that snare drum, I didn't do a quarter note there. I did a 16th note. Like, and they're like, fuck it. I'm like, no.
Like, it matters.
This fucking matters. Like, if I'm playing this, the audio is going to be from this and is not going to be touched. And that's a big thing that people don't think about is it is so much improv when you're doing this. There's obviously some routines that are going to sound pretty unique. I'm sorry, that are going to sound exactly the same and not be unique. But most of the time it's even if it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
For me, it has to be exact.
Yeah, and if you hit a pad and you don't see a sound come out on video, that's the worst as a drummer, I feel like.
The worst.
People are gonna think
You
you're
know?
cheating the whole thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
my whole fucking career has been that's fake. There's one
Right.
dude that was like, if you slow the video down by 0.5 and you look at the fabric of the left side of his shirt, it distorts. This is clearly sped up. So I like resorted to like putting fucking timers behind me and then finger drumming, like, look, this is the actual speed, like doing it direct audio out of the speakers so it's not overlaid. And then eventually I was just like, I guess this is just a compliment that people think it's fake.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do take it really seriously. I actually, the first time when I first started playing shows, one of my pads got unplugged while I was playing, and I was like, I'm just gonna go padless because I refuse to play it and fake it. Like that's
Yeah.
just
Right.
not gonna happen. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Nice.
That's artist integrity
That's
right
right.
there, dude.
Yeah.
So then, how does the CDJ? Because your setup is the Maschine. I'm assuming like whatever DJM 900 mixer or 2000, whatever they have there, and then one CDJ, or no?
So the CDJs I just keep up there because I don't want to make them strike at all. I don't use them.
okay, so it's all independently coming through here
it's-
and the mixer.
It's mixer, Ableton, Maschine, and push. But a lot of the times I have to sacrifice my push because I can't get them to strike more than one CDJ. So if I have more bargaining power with like where I am on this, like for example, I did 2 headline shows, one here at the Echo and one in Larimer Lounge the end of last year. There was no CDJs. There was a PS5 controller, a Maschine, a DJS-1000 by Pioneer, a push, and my computer. And I was just like mad scientist.
Nice.
And that's the way I
You
want
got
to do
the
it.
PS5 controller in there.
I
for
did.
it's so
I
sick.
did. Yeah,
Dude,
it was
that's
cool.
so sick.
It was fun. So that's the setup I usually want to do, but I have to be modular with it when it's like a festival play and
Yeah.
there's no stage change. It's like, all right, I just gotta fucking.
But when we're talking, most places, most venues have 4 CDJs. If you're a big enough venue, you're gonna have 4.
Yeah.
Taking out 2 and still leaving the other 2, but just turning them off, is that really that big of a deal?
I don't think so, but I
Yeah,
I
No,
like,
but these guys get crazy.
I mean, it's like it's literally 2 RCA. I don't know if there's an Ethernet cable plug. There's probably an Ethernet
Yep, the
cable.
cables are all like
For the fourth
nicely
seat-
like stapled in there and
Yeah,
shit.
for the 3rd and 4th though, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's my thought too.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm like, look, as long as you take one out and I can finger drum and put my computer to the side, I'll
Yeah.
fucking move over. I was getting into problems where they're putting my Maschine where CDJ4 was,
Mhm.
and so I was really close to stage right monitor because I had to go over there to finger drum, and I'd get off stage and my right ear was blown. So it's
Damn.
just like, there's no good way about doing it. It's just kind of like
Oh man.
it is what it is.
I have so many questions. But I want to hear some finger drumming.
Yeah.
I want to hear some finger drumming.
Can you finger for us?
Yeah.
Show us some fingering.
Hey guys, quick break from the pod. If your computer has crashed mid-session, frozen while loading a synth, or straight up ruined your project file, you already know the pain. Your computer should not be the hardest part of making music. That's why you'll probably love our sponsor, Orbital Computers. They build custom workstation PCs specifically for music producers. No random bloat, no guessing specs, just exactly what you need. Whether you're stacking a few instances of Serum or running a full-on recording session, every Orbital rig is built, tested, and supported in the US of A by people who actually understand music production. If you want a computer that keeps up with your workflow instead of fighting you, hit orbitalcomputers.com and use code XLNT at checkout for 5% off. Now let's get you back to the video. Yeah, I'm super hyped. I see you got a project open. Is this like a specific song of yours? Is it a routine? Is it
No, this is just I just did a shoot for Red Bull, and I had something built out for this PS5 controller.
Yeah.
So I just opened that. But
Dude.
this machine is all loaded up with like some fun stuff that we can check out that's like low pressure but still like really fun to
Yeah,
listen to.
I want to hear the finger drumming first.
All right, so
Yeah.
I can cycle through like 3 of my banks and talk about them.
Yeah.
And then I can do like a little tiny like 1-minute performance type deal.
That's
if cool.
perfect. Yeah.
Cool. So this is basically ran 16 pads, so you get 16 sounds and you get infinite amount of banks. If I hit shift here, I could go into even more banks, but
Cool.
I'm just going to use these 8. They're all set up in the same region. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 is always kick, snare, closed hat, and open hat for me. So that's going to be across
Every single bank.
Nice.
most banks. and I usually reserve the top 2 rows for melodic elements if there's going to be. In this case, these first 3 are just drums, so these are just my extra, you know.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm going to get a different flavor doing verses. I have 3 genres at my fingertips right there, right? Yellow is like my infamous bank. It's my drum and bass bank. It's the only one that is set up differently.
Oh my god.
And then it's just an extra little, and then it's actually split up differently because now I can halftime. It's just easier for me.
Wait.
And so it's the release of those samples are different, right? Oh.
What about the snares though? Oh, there's the exact same snare.
Wow.
Wait, that just sounded different. There was a. Oh, okay.
This one's not included on this
Got it.
route,
Okay.
but yeah, it's the exact same sample. It's just oriented differently because it's very visual. When you're on stage, there's nothing to write on the pads, right? So I have to go by color and shape.
Yeah.
And so I know that this quadrant here is the drum and bass shape, and this shape is halftime.
Okay.
interesting.
Right?
Okay.
And the same thing with here. It's like, okay, I know the shape of the bottom route. It's always going to be the same.
Yeah.
And I know these are going to be my added flares. And then I know that I've just memorized this is the more boom bap and this is the more drum and bass. And I just got that drilled in my head. And same thing with this bank. All
like,
different sounds.
Is that
Very
pretty
smart.
common for other finger drummers to kind of do similar setups? And like, how did you develop your? I'm sure everyone has their own thing, but like, how did you develop your sort of system?
You know, I don't remember. I think I just chose when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I can't do it because the mic's in the way. But when I finger drum really fast, which I'll show you later, something about this being able to split my hands this way has always made more sense to me than like upwards.
Yeah.
I think maybe because when you do snare drum, you're snare drumming like this.
Right.
And this is pretty close to that same.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And 1 to me feels like an anchor, like that's your kick. That's
Right.
where you start. So there's like little like just butch-isms that made me choose it. But I think this is probably a common layout.
Yeah, I think I've seen that kick, snare, hi-hat, or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's like really cool. I think that like one of the things I think that's like kind of fun that we don't really talk about as producers is just like our own little workflow setups and like why it works for us. It could just not be with this, you know, it could just be with like the way our Ableton track, what colors our Ableton tracks are, like why are they certain colors? How come they resonate with us? Like stuff like that I think is actually really interesting. I'm always so like curious too, like I think a lot of people kind of get the pads, but I think where it gets kind of crazy is like when it gets into like when you're doing those weird effects and stuff like that. Like how are those things, so if that's cool to like, how are those things sort of controlled now that you have sort of showed us like sort of the basis of it? Like where do all the effects come in and like the cool rolls and stuff like that? How are those things like sort of set up? Is that a main sort of thing that stays the same throughout all the banks, or are they different?
They're different. So I use 4 different pads on stage when I have my full setup. 3 of the main ones being this, the Pioneer DJS-1000, and the Push. All have their own ways of doing note repeats or doing effects. Personally, I think the DJS-1000 is the best at doing effects. If I'm on stage, that's what I want to use the most. However, this is really cool too. So with the Maschine, this performance FX select here, up here on the top, you can see that I can cycle through different, you guys can't see, but reso echo, burst echo, flanger, and this is all controlled by dry is here and wet is here. Touch, touch. So if I'm on flanger, then I have individual knobs here that I can change the amount.
Oh, cool.
But for example, I usually use the reso echo because I do a lot of reverb throws to get out of things. The thing that irks me is there's no just fucking reverb.
Like
it's a delay reverb.
Oh, weird.
No, there's the reso echo and then there's burst echo, which is real delayed. So this is the closest thing I can get to a reverb, but it just fucks with your head because you can't get the BPM. And I wish it just had a stock reverb in it like the DJS does. But
and the S1 is probably closest to the effects on like CDJs, right?
yes,
Is it that little thing that has the big dial on it, or does it
no,
have pads?
the DJS-1000 is like one of the most unused products, I think, on their line.
Yeah.
It's as big as a CDJ. It looks like a CDJ.
I remember it now.
It's
Yes.
got a
got the
touch screen.
pads.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then
We can show it for on screen. For
yeah,
people,
yeah. But it's a beast. And then you have note repeat here. So if I hold this down, I can choose the rate at which it goes. I keep it at so A-Track coined my my note repeat style as the fart because I put it on 64th notes and it sounds like farts, but I do it like really fast, and he just one day just decided to call it that.
A-Track
That's
coins something,
hilarious.
you keep it.
Yeah, you keep it. So
wait, are all the same kits loaded up? Excuse me for my ignorance, but like this kit will be, if you have access to all three, like you said, if everyone's bringing it up, all the different, you said 3 or 4 pads, sorry.
all separate brains.
Okay, so do they all have separate kits loaded up on them too?
Yes.
Okay, so the Pioneer 1000 would have a different kit setup that you could go access if you wanted to at a certain time.
Yeah, so you thought putting samples on the Maschine was hard. Putting it on the DJS is way harder. So you have to download a separate software. Then you need to use a USB like a CDJ. You have to reformat it. Then you have to get the sounds onto there.
Type of deal.
It's like a record box, right? So my DJS-1000 has its own banks of shit. This has its own banks of shit. And the Push, I often almost always use just for melody stuff. I don't like to finger drum because it's too small.
Yeah.
And each has its own function. So like the Push, I can automate actual reverb and stuff in the box with Ableton. This is just my baby and it's easy. And the DJS like really works well with whatever's happening with the mixer or having its own interface. And there's just even more things to play with and touch. So
Gotcha.
they all interact by themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it came down to it, you're saying I need at least this for my performance. That's when you're at least.
I would rather my DJS-1000.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I love her.
She's your baby.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is it.
Is she the side chick or she the main hoe?
No, she's the main.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's 1000 side chick.
I think so.
Yeah, she's the guma. She's the guma, as they say. The Italians. All right, sorry, we went down a little bit of tangent there. So you were explaining. Okay, so now we got a kind of rundown of how this sort of setup works, and then you have this. This is like it seems like a couple. Are these just sample stems?
Would you like me to open up
Yeah,
a project file of a live set?
Whatever you think is best.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be cool.
Okay.
We're just so curious.
Yeah, because this is just a whole other world that
Yeah.
like you kind of have to like for people to understand. Like you really have to like kind of show. I think like really. It's easy to understand. Oh, he's hitting sounds, but there's so much that goes into it with like just how you're like my head can't even wrap around like how you're like I'm imagining like you said like a long stock market crash. Like I can imagine that's the live set, but I'm like, well, where does he? Is it like what is the entire track playing and he's jamming along to it, or like when does he decide to? Or if he's using stems, like when does he decide to launch each stem? Is he memorizing? Is he putting together the whole song live by triggering? You know, there's so many things that you could be doing. It's really hard to imagine that.
That was 17 questions.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's why I think it's important to show.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So let me talk into the mic here, and then I'll turn my head. I'll show you what I just did a set with San, maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I'll show you the project file, and then I'll pull up a Viperactive edit that I did,
Yeah.
and I'll finger drum along with it. In this case, I didn't have the stems from him, so what I did is I chopped a bit of his piece, put an acapella over top of it. You'll hear it's a future acapella, and then I built a finger drumming routine, and then sidechained so that you could hear my kit.
Oh, yes.
so-
Yeah, that's sick.
So let me pull this up.
But the song is playing out through normally. You're not changing the structure of the song.
In this case, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll shut up. Just show us. If you're an EDM producer and you need some serious sounds, make sure you guys go to XLNTsound.com. They have everything you need from Serum presets, project files, remakes, and even free downloads for you guys. And check out all these different testimonials that all these heavy-hitting EDM producers are saying about XLNTsound.com.
And on top of that, use code TheExcellentShow at checkout to save 10% off your next purchase.
So this is the full set. I'm using these markers, insert markers on Ableton, and I'm writing things in.
Oh, okay.
So you see right there, instead of like that's how I write in Ableton. So when I know when this part comes up, I can look over at Ableton and be like, okay, this is finger drum up until the drop in this part. So I have my visual cues. That's what all those things are.
Yeah.
If I unfold this, it's just Hold on.
Endless.
There's a bunch of edits too. It's all edits.
So it's just all edits. My own production underneath each edit. And let me find the Viperactive part, and I'll show you how I would do that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Bro, while you're doing that, can I ask you more questions? It's okay. So, like, I would imagine, like, you build a set out, and then you have a solid set, but, you know, you play that set, you tour that set, but I imagine, like, songs start to pop off and you get new ideas. Isn't it a pain in the ass to bring in new sections doing it this way, or no?
Yeah, like when you need to like change your set, you're fucked.
Right. So, like, if a popular song is just, I gotta play this song. The song's popping off right now. I gotta play it.
When I first started, I was like, how do I change the set now? But what I realized is all I have to do is just find a place in the set where I can fit it in and work it, basically.
Right. So you are kind of constantly tweaking it as you go, but trying not to unless you have to type of deal?
Yes.
Okay.
I opened up the wrong project file, by the way, so give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no worries.
Dude, so, like, while he's doing that, I was thinking about it, like, because you and I don't know if you guys have ever tried at home to build something in Ableton Live as a set. When Parker and I are working on a set for, like, a show that we might be playing, we kind of have different ways of doing it. He likes to kind of jam it out on the CDJs, and I like to kind of throw in songs into Ableton and start making edits, kind of similar to this.
Yeah.
And then we're both able to come up with ideas, and then we'll both sit down at Ableton and sort of, like, structure it out together. But what happens is we start realizing, oh, like, there's a song that we want to bring in here instead, and you've already have your 80 minutes lined up. It's kind of a pain in the ass to, like, you have to make it fit in that square, so you're deleting time and sometimes tempo, and then you're trying to add. And
with minimal edits, too.
Yeah.
Minimal edits.
It's really difficult. And then also you're trying to think about how you can, maybe this new song that you're bringing it in, you have to play it, but maybe it doesn't go into the song that was
coming after
it, you know, and so you have to find creative way. It's a lot of fucking work, man.
It's a pain.
On top of being just a fucking producer, I don't know how you find time to do this shit, bro. That's insane. Your output must be crazy. You must be crazy fast.
I am.
Yeah.
I will admit that.
Nice.
I do work quick.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
This is okay. That set I opened up. The set I opened up was from 2023.
Wow.
That was the wrong one.
Oh my god.
This is the updated like.
Okay.
It's almost
master.
completely white.
Yeah.
There's more lines than no lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a lot of cue markers because I need them.
Yeah.
Like, I need to read that. Otherwise, until I memorize this, like if I play a set for 6 months, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
But when I first build it, I try not to recycle sets as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it's good to have those cues. Otherwise, I'm like, do I stop finger drumming at this section or do I cue this here? Like it's just kind of hard to find it. So
Yeah.
So let me find that Viperactive part.
please.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'll kind of just show what you'll hear is an instance where I couldn't separate the stems and I actually didn't need to. Just sidechain and create an edit of a Viperactive track.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go from the last track into this track. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Mask on, fuck your mask on. Mask on, fuck your mask on. Percocet, Miley Percocet. Chase a chick, never chase a bitch. 2 cups, post on with the game. From food stamps to a whole nother game. Out the bottom, I'm a living proof. Getting on the food, draw out, looking like a hood. Graduated, I was overdue. Big money, I can elevate. Ask a family, I'm gon' bust a move. We the best in the
Why do you do that to yourself?
Dude.
Bro, that's insane.
So sick. So sick,
Holy
bro.
So
shit.
that's the easiest way to do it, which is not separate any stems, just take a part of a track that's a banger, find an acapella, put that on it, build a routine, and perform it. But a lot of the other times in this set, it's, well, shit, I got to separate the drums out of this. Okay, let's AI separate that. Okay, cool. Now I got to mix the drums to sound good in that part. Okay, now I need to add extra bass because I lost it in the AI separation. I need to,
Oh my
and just
God.
creating your own edits of all these things, and then building the routine, knowing that on that pre-drop, it's boom, like knowing all those little things,
Right.
rehearsing it, and
That's incredible.
No,
That's so
it's-
impressive, bro.
Yeah, it's very amazing. Have you ever messed with Ableton's like auto quantize at all? Because
I refuse to quantize.
no, yeah, but I mean, it's first off, it's hard to use, and like, but I mean, you're on time, and there's like feel, there's all of these things, and it matches up with songs that are to the grid. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's so interesting and cool. You know what
Thanks.
I'm saying? Because you're adding feel into EDM that's just like
Yeah.
always on the grid.
Yeah, I'm a little handicapped from like sitting here and like
Right.
I'm a little off because I can't play as great as I could. But yes, every set there is human error.
Yeah.
And everything is to the grid. Like if you look at my automation lane, everything kind
Right.
of, you can see the flow of the set.
Oh yeah, dude.
All this, the tempo, that shit's so
Mhm.
annoying to have
So,
to
like,
program that in, dude.
This is most likely the drum and bass section.
Right.
But yeah, so everything is in a click. But
How tired are you? I mean, that's a lot of. I mean, I'm sure that was probably more of a performative part of the set. Like, is it that crazy the entire set? Like,
not the whole time, because that would be too much.
Yeah.
Like from a listener's point of view, if I finger drum the whole time, it's like fuck.
right.
So I have to find moments, and there's a lot of moments where I just play the song, right? I'm not fancying the song. I'm just playing
Right.
it. Maybe people don't even know that I'm playing it in that moment, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I did a 3-hour set at the Echo,
Jesus.
and I was fine afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah, I was. But if I play a couple, like when I was on tour with San, when we played, I have Raynaud's disease, which means my blood doesn't come to my extremities, like my feet, my hands, my ears. So my hands get really dry and crack and bleed.
Oh,
Wow.
So when we played in cold states, if we played a few dates in a row, my fingers would gush and I would bleed all over the machine.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Punk rock as fuck.
Is that what that video was on Instagram? I think
So-
you have one where there's just blood everywhere.
That was 3 days in a row of shows.
Oh my god.
And I cut my fingernails too short, and it
Right.
cut open, and it just was like, poof.
Oh, that's insane, dude.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. I mean, you have to have like what goes into practicing for that? I mean, just physically,
Yeah.
because like when I play drums, it's it's rudiments. It's
Yeah.
just getting the hours in so your muscle memory kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing certain moves over and over again to practice,
Like
or
warm
like
ups or anything?
Yeah,
Now, not to be pompous, but now, no. But when I was younger, so we were talking about drumming.
Yeah.
When I was learning how to do double kick, when I was a metal drummer in metal bands, I went downstairs. Actually, when I was in school, when I could, I'd have my headphones on to just a metronome, and I would walk to the bus, or I'd walk through school to the metronome, and just
yeah.
Oh wow.
just do that. And then I'd go home, and then I would start really slow and just build it up every day. And I did the same thing with finger drumming. I saw Arab music go super fast, and I was
Yeah.
like, fuck. So I just went home, and like every day, a little faster every day, a little faster every day.
Yeah.
And then my super cheat code was, I studied with a book called Syncopation, Guide of Syncopation or something like that. So I have a paradiddle tatted on my thigh.
Oh, sick.
And so I
dude.
would just do paradiddles, and then I
Yeah.
would open up, at that time Spotify wasn't around, so I'd open up iTunes and hit shuffle and just finger drum along to every single song that popped up. Didn't matter what genre it was.
Yeah.
And it like forced me to learn how to not only go faster because of the BPM changes, but also how to finger drum to different genres.
Yeah.
So that was like, I hated like studying. I hated like, well, let me do rudiment. I needed to have
yeah.
fun. So
Yeah,
that was
that
my
makes
way
sense.
of having fun.
Dude, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, I could
man.
tell just in the way like your production too of like some of the fills that you're doing. Like you have to have either know like like drumming and be like a decent drummer, or just be producing for a really long time to be able. I always can tell a good producer by their fills. I don't know. That's just like kind of me. Like I'm like, oh damn,
I like that.
So you can like listen to the type of fills you're doing in between those for that song. I'm just like, Jesus, dude.
It's just
like,
syncopation.
Yeah.
It's all it is.
Yeah.
crazy,
No,
bro.
that's awesome, man.
Hey guys, we got a quick announcement for you. Due to the overwhelming response we got to our Serum Pack Drops Only Wook Edition, we are happy to announce our brand new pack, WOOKTRONIC. This time, we went in and made some amazing samples to go along with some of the best Wook and dubstep presets in the game. Guys, we've been doing this for so many years now, and we've developed so many techniques, different methods to create the best presets on the market. If you're a fan of Drops Only Wook or any of our other packs, you're gonna want and need this in your arsenal. I'm gonna take a quick toke while you guys listen to these drops made entirely from WOOKTRONIC. We really wanted to add some special unique sounds to this one that you guys will love for your production toolkit, and you can't get these sounds anywhere else. Some of my favorites are the miscellaneous effects, turnaround loops, bass loops, and drop claps. That's right, I'm talking about those insane drop claps you hear from your favorite tracks. If you're a fan of all the colors of Wook, from Subtronics, Levity, Tape B, Grizz, you guys are gonna want and need WOOKTRONIC. Go click the link in the description and grab WOOKTRONIC now.
I did want to bring something up with, we touched on AI, but I feel like everybody's scared about AI taking everybody's jobs right now in music, blah, blah, blah. But I think that AI is going to be pushing more people to be doing this. Finger drumming, picking up instruments more.
You think
You
so?
know what I'm saying? I think so. Yeah. After the shine and all of the hype dies down, people are gonna want to learn an instrument to say that, like, I drummed this.
Oh, yeah.
I played this.
Until they get a robot that can go like a million miles an hour.
Yeah. True.
I wanted to ask you too, is like
I agree with you though.
Yeah.
the amount of like research and development you have to do into building a set. You said I got to pull out the AI stems, and then obviously sometimes if AI doesn't do a good job, you have to replace the bass, whatever it might be, because that happens a lot. There's phasing issues with the stems.
Totally.
People don't even know. Like they think they can just pull out samples. Like AI is just gonna pull out clean samples. Like no. Like all those samples are usually really phasey, and you have to fix them if you're gonna try to make them.
Do you know Bob Ross?
Yeah, the painter.
Yes.
Yes.
I look at every edit as a Bob Ross painting.
Okay.
It's just like, I'm going to add a little bit of bass. I'm going to add a little bit of this here. Like, it's just, you can't get attached to thinking it's going to go fast. You just treat every section as its own project.
That makes sense.
And you just cut off your emotions.
Right.
And just lock in and do it.
And you move on when you're waiting. Because I would imagine the part of what I wanted to ask you is, now that you have like success, you have people's numbers. So like you have to reach out to people and be like, yo, can I get the stems for this? Like
It's just like kind of awkward sometimes.
I would imagine, yeah, like you don't want to be the guy reaching out to everybody being like, hey, can I get those stems for that?
No.
Like
And
just-
I
yeah.
don't because I've figured out my way around it.
Yeah.
But if I'm really close with someone, then I'd be like, yo, give me the stems. Like, come on.
Right.
But for most of my relationships, it's like a step away from being like, yo, just pass me all your stems.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I'm just going to figure it out myself. And if it takes, because you bring up a good point. It's like building the set is hard in itself. And then it's like you have all these other added elements. So yeah. And when I first started playing, I was even playing the wrong music. So then I had to learn what translated in a live setting and how much I could do this. There was so much research into it and like falling on my face a lot until I could play a full 60 minutes with a good balance of everything. And the other thing is people need to see what's happening. So if I can't bring my GoPro and put it on the screen behind me, it's really hard to see what's going on. So it's very visual.
Yeah, dude.
So there's a lot of parts that need to be, all put together for it to be the full thing.
Like, sorry, at what point did you just decide like, okay, like I'm gonna keep doing this drumming thing and not just start CDJing at that point in your career? Like you have to, like, you're committed to this bit now, like, do you ever wish you could kind of just not do it?
No.
So you love it?
I'd be not to be rude, but I'd be so bored.
Yeah.
Like when I'm up there, I'm performing. I get to be a drummer still. I get to and I'm kind of awkward and shy. So like when I'm on stage, like it's nice to dive into the machine and not have to be like, put your fucking like, I do that, but it's not me to my core. So like this really kind of helps me feel comfortable on stage. And you know, I'm committed to it because like from the jump, it got everyone's attention. Like the whole reason why my EDM journey kicked off in the first place was because of it. And then even more so recently getting, you know, booked and signed, it's like everyone is like, even content, everything is finger drumming.
True.
And so it would be dumb
Right.
to ignore that,
That's a good point.
you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were gonna ask something.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know, how long was this set? This is like an hour,
That's a 70-minute set.
70 minutes. So like how long did that take you for an average, like to create?
That probably took 3 weeks.
That's not bad. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that's not too much. That's not too crazy.
And that was taking
You
it
know?
easy.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm not going to rush myself and I'm going to really polish everything. No filler tracks. Like,
Yeah.
everything needs to be good.
No, that's epic, man.
About 3 weeks.
And then,
But then another 3 weeks to, 2 weeks to
kind
learn
of finalize.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, learn
To
it.
play it,
practice
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Have you ever made an edit like so sick that like you have to make it into an original? You know, where you had to figure out a way to, you know, not remake it but recreate it and turn it original. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I've never done it. There's 2 standout edits that I have. That Viperactive one, and there's a graphics one, a drum and bass guy that I do a drum and bass routine,
Yeah.
and they've just become staples in the set now. And I obviously like I give credit where it's due. Like, you know, these are these guys' tracks, but
Yeah.
this is just my interpretation and performance of it. I've never thought about making it into an original because I guess it goes back to not wanting to hear references and like,
Yeah.
I don't want to bite somebody. So I
Totally.
just treat it as like, hey, this is just the art of the game. I'm making my own interpretation of it for performance.
Yeah.
And that's the only place it exists.
It's cool because I mean, there's so much respect for the routines.
Yeah.
You know,
Thanks.
like everybody has their routines. You know, like even there's that one Fred again routine that everybody redoes on TikTok, and it's so cool that like that's his routine. It's
Yeah.
essentially an original song. You know, that's the routine. You
Right.
know, so
Right.
I think that's so awesome.
Thanks.
Just imagine the amount of effort it takes us to like make songs or like a sample
Yeah.
pack. You know what I mean? And then also like putting on top of that, you're gotta make like a long set like this, which is already hard enough for us. When we're doing sets, it's like we can't do anything else.
Yeah.
And then you gotta learn how to perform. Like that's just I'm blown away at your work ethic. It must
Thank
be
you.
like really really high in order to be able. And like I said, your output must be insane to be able. And you must really want to be doing it this way in order to, because that's a lot, bro. Just the
Yeah.
amount of songs that you're already producing and
It could be easier, but then I wouldn't be me.
yeah,
Right.
no, for sure.
And my internal voice is so harsh. Like I feel like if I'm not pushing myself, I'm not saying this is a good thing. It's just something that it's a personality trait of mine where if I'm not pushing myself to the absolute limit
Yeah,
of my capabilities with music, I'm not good enough.
Right.
So I constantly feel like I have to do the thing that no one else can do, or I have to do something that is like over the top.
yeah,
And that's just I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just my creative style is, yeah, I could dumb this down for sure.
Yeah.
But like, the fuck is the point of doing all this then?
yeah.
Like, you know?
I could definitely see the pros and cons of like having that sort of
Yeah.
you know mentality of perfectionism or whatever to a certain extent, or really putting all your all into something. How that could be really positive and also be negative at times. And finding that balance is probably difficult.
You have to curb the burnout because when you push
Yeah.
yourself that hard, it gets to be really tough. And so, you know, that's why like people like my family and my girlfriend, that's where a big part of my like relaxation and escape from that comes from. But
Yeah,
I'll obsess, man. Like I'll obsess over everything, whether it's content, if there's one little thing that's wrong, or if there's one part of the set that doesn't wow me enough, I will sit there and hammer it until it's done. I don't care what
Yeah.
time it takes.